Welcome down here to Eastern Rangers. We've just had the Vic Metro squad announcement. We've had nine boys named in the Vic Metro squad for the National Under-18 Championships, joined by Eastern Rangers talent manager Len Villani. And Lenny, to have 9 boys out of 30 in the Vic Metro squad is a great reflection on the program.
Yeah, 9 players out of an entire state, I suppose, in terms of the Metro region it's a great result for our region. And it's great to see some new names and faces in there as well, and some boys that no doubt we're going to talk about in a minute, in terms of those boys being able to put their best foot forward and give themselves an opportunity to play against the best kids in the country over the next sort of month with the National Championships, which is starting in a couple of weeks' time. So looking forward to seeing how they go.
One of those boys you mentioned was Rolly Stoddard. He's really kind of come from nowhere, somewhat. Only really come onto the list at the end of last year, start of this year.
Yeah, he's an interesting story, Riley. He wouldn't have been a magnet on, I don't think, any board of any AFL clubs, particularly this time last year. He came in over the pre-season, having sort of come into our trial squads at the end of last year, and this being his draftable year. He'd shown enough in those trial squads late last year to suggest that there's some attributes and talents that we'd be able to work with there. And he's able to put his best foot forward, as I said before, and certainly a good athlete, understands the game really well, and he's just matured both physically and I think also in terms of his footy over the summer, and he's been able to really hit the ground running in terms of the start of the year. And he ticks a lot of AFL boxes, and it'll be interesting to see how he goes against the best opposition going around over the next month or so with the Nationals.
And Trent Wynott was another one who missed as a 16-year-old.
Yeah, Trent's he's been a bit of a slow burn in that regard. Always had a lot of talent as a 15, 16-year-old boy, but seemed to be one of those ones that was just going to take a little bit of time in terms of staying connected and staying involved in games and having multiple involvements, and also needed to physically mature as well. So he always had that natural sort of football talent, if you like, but it was a matter of getting that all together, building himself a body to allow him to play at that level, and staying injury-free, which thankfully enough he's been able to do over this early part of the season. He's played some really, really good school footy for us, also at his school at Caulfield Grammar, and now we'll get the opportunity to play some hopefully good footy at the National Championships level.
Dylan Moore, this time last year, was coming through the program and now has been rewarded with selection in the state squad.
Yeah, he's a great story, Maury. He's not a lot of him in terms of his stature. He's only about 175, 176. But in terms of effort and work rate, and in terms of having very little chinks in the armour, then he's got it in spades, and particularly his courage and his just ability to just find a way. And credit to him, his performances over the early part of the year have been nothing short of outstanding. He's an amazing athlete. He's got a bit of a running background. He's won at 1600 metres at Stawell. So a good pedigree there in terms of his athletic ability, but also being able to add to his game over the past sort of 12 months or so. And he, as I said, we didn't really know about Dylan until about midway through last year, and he came into our program and ended up playing in our finals team and did a really, really good job there. And we didn't know which way he'd go, but he certainly kicked on in terms of over the pre-season. He's just grabbed his opportunity, and for a young fella of his sort of stature and role and everything else that goes along with it, there's obviously a lot of challenges, but every door they keep putting up in front of him, he just keeps bashing it down, and now he gets to play against the best kids in the country. And sort of a very similar player, I think, to like a Caleb Daniel in that sort of a mould, in terms of just clean, makes good decisions, good leg speed, covers the ground really well. It'll be great to see him get his opportunity.
Harry Nolan's another one who's impressed throughout the first, I guess, third of the season, down at centre half back. His intercept marking is a highlight in his game.
Yeah, Harry played national footy last year and did some really big jobs as a bottom age boy in that Vic Metro program on some of the boys that got their name called out last November in the AFL draft. And H took a lot of those boys to the cleaners and did a really, really big defensive effort on several of them. And being able to continue that on in the early part of the TAC Cup season, and he'll get his opportunity, no doubt, to add a few more scalps in this next little bit nationals. So looking forward to seeing how he goes.
Would you expect the Vic Metro lineup to be dominated by Eastern Rangers players? Lenny, obviously with Joel Garner, Adam Chera, and Tommy North is another one who's overcome a pre-season injury. Had a limited pre-season, if any pre-season. he's coming on leaps and bounds, a strong body midfielder. Probably 3 midfielders you'd expect to figure pretty predominantly throughout the 18s Carnival.
Yeah, I think like just on Tommy, it's a great story in terms of getting a knockback as a 16-year-old and not making it through to the final Vic Metro squad. And rather than sort of shy away, he really rolled his sleeves up and he's used that to help drive and motivate him over the last sort of 2 years, and has really found a different style to his game. He was very sort of inside, see ball, get ball at that age, and now he's become a really well-rounded midfielder who can play inside, outside, hit the scoreboard. He's got good power, high cruising speed, accumulates a lot of possessions. He's got great penetration in his kicking, and yeah, he's very much in that Clayton Oliver type mould, I think, in the sort of new modern age sort of powerful mid, but can also obviously add to the scoreboard and the scoring pair of teams as well. So he'll definitely be pretty prominent, I would have thought, and the other boys, Chera and Garner, are obviously pretty well-seasoned veterans in terms of the Vic Metro space. That even though they're only top age this year, they've had some great exposure in previous programs, so no doubt they'll be able to step up and take on that next challenge. So.
Sammy Hayes was the only bottom 8 player named in the under-18 All-Australian team last year. Obviously gets another opportunity, one that's been highly talked about already. What can we expect from him over the next month or so?
Big Sammy, he's grown again actually, funnily enough. He's up to 204 centimetres now, so if he wasn't a bit of a force to be reckoned with previously, well, he certainly is now. And he's just continuing to get better and better, and it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back with him, and it's going to be a slow burn in terms of him being able to be AFL ready. But the little cameos and highlights that you get to see and a crystal balling in terms of what he will end up becoming is really, really exciting, and no doubt whets the appetite of a lot of AFL clubs in terms of his ruck craft and ability to mark around the ground and then also go forward and obviously hit the scoreboard. You know, he kicked a bit of a bag, and up against Skippy, so we've been able to showcase that. So continue to add strings to his bow, and now he gets another crack at under 18, Metro national level, and no doubt will acquit himself really, really well.
Speaking of whetting the appetite, Jaden Stevenson is one that does exactly that. I think 5 or 6 goals in round 1, 4 in the first quarter. I think probably 4 in the first 16 minutes against Calder Cannons out there at Rams Arena. One that's been also highly spoken about, pretty exciting forward.
Yeah, and that sums Jaden up in a nutshell. He's got the ability, like not many others that I've seen before, to be able to legitimately win a game off his own boot. And he's got that flair and that spark and that speed, and very good in the air for his size, and then super quick and nimble at ground level as well. And a few forays into the midfield as well this year for him too, as part of his development. And over the last few weeks he's been able to refine that a little bit and start to have a bit of an impact through the middle part of the ground. So that continues to add more strings to his bow. But he's a prodigious talent, and I'm sure he's just chomping at the bit to go and play on the big stage, because he's definitely a big game and big moment player. So looking forward to see how he goes.
9 out of 30. Lenny, what's the secret to the success? I think there was 9 last year as well, so 18 in 2 years, so 18 out of about 60 odd players playing in Vic Metro under 18s.
I don't know if there's any real great secret, but the thing that we always come back to is, good organisations are built on good people and creating good environments, and that's what we try and do here. We get great support in terms of our staff and who we're able to employ, and have all these great resources around the boys, but then it's very much left up to them in terms of driving their own development and wanting to get the most out of themselves. But it's continuing to look, it's continuing to work, it's continuing to push the status quo in terms of how we do things, revamp, tweak programs, keep looking for kids change, new kids come in, go past kids that you've had previous. So it's about challenging everything and everyone in terms of our environment and staying on top of things, so that you just hopefully that 5 or 10% ahead of the game. So it's great to get a little bit of reward in that regard, but it's definitely a team.